is the Void? Well, if you watched the first video, you know the Void is a place where wrestlers without figures go who would not have a match in figure form. Here we discuss who and the likeliness of them ever getting out. How will we determine who might get out of the Void? Well, there's these key factors. Presentability, would it make a good addition to wrestling collections? Appeal, were they history making? And desirability, can a collector truly live without them? So, last time we talked about WrestleMania 1 through WrestleMania 10. Now we're going to discuss WrestleMania 11 through WrestleMania 20. And here are the people, and there's not a lot. I can tell you right now that are desirable. But you got Doug Furnas, RIP, Philip LaFron, Jose Estrada, Sniper, Miguel Perez, Julius Castillo, Butterbean, The Cat, Joey Abs, Rodney, Pete Gas, Duke the Dumpster Drozy, Gobbledygooker, Kimchi, Jazz, and Miss Jackie. So Doug Furnas, I don't see him getting out of the Void. He did a great match against Bulldog. I was watching it on Reliving the War because I vaguely remember these two guys. They were in blue attire. They had like almost like a French type gimmick going on, Canadian, possibly French Canadian gimmick. Really sound workers, but just boring to watch. There's no personality. I don't remember any promos with them. I know they fought for the tag belts, but they were just kind of like almost an enhancement talent, or just a random talent that they just kind of stuck in there to feed to the Bulldog and Owen till they could find more tag teams, I guess. Same with Philip LaFron. And I may not pronounce his name. I know it's Phil. I think it's Philip LaFron, but I might misspelled it. Again, great, tag team gimmick, but not desirable, not very marketable. They didn't, you'd think in bone crunching action days they would have made everybody. They made the Headbangers, the Godwins, the Blackjacks, but not these two. Then you have Jose Estrada, and you're probably wondering who that is. Well, I put a picture down here of Los Barricos. Now, this is Savio Vega's group. Back when they had the warring factions in the Attitude Era, you had the DOA, which is ran by Crush. You had Nation Domination ran by Farouk. And you had Savio Vega run the Los Barricos. Fun thing about them was you had Crush, Savio, and Farouk as the kind of like the core member of the Nation. Then they individually broke up. They had fights and they became warring factions. Then somehow the Truth Commission came along. They were going to be basically help push Kurgan and try and restore order because of gang warfare, and they were the newest gang. This is around the time that WWE was hurting with getting beat up by WCW, and so they started to pool people together to see if somebody out of that group was going to be a star. That's how they found The Rock, basically. But here's the other member of Los Barricos, Miguel Perez. You're going to notice that 3 of those 4 members never got a figure. So clearly they didn't care about Savio's group at all. They barely cared about Savio. And you see right there, I didn't really talk about him. I don't remember these guys. I don't remember really, even when they were around. Maybe they were in some singles matches and some tag team, deals. They didn't make an impact to my knowledge. Neither did Jose Castillo. I don't remember this guy at all. I know that he was mentioned about being one of the hairiest wrestlers, and then it's Miguel Perez. But you can see right there that the only one I recognize is the one sitting in the chair. Now, Butterbean. Now, this is a controversial subject because he's not a wrestler. He's a boxer. He was, though, however, booked for a WrestleMania match. Just like Mr. T was booked for a WrestleMania match, so I counted him. Yeah, he knocked out Bart Gunn brutally, and I for sure thought there'd be a boxing figure of him out there in some action figure form, but I couldn't find anything other than customs. So maybe some toy company down the road will make like legendary boxing figures. Maybe they might just be statues. Who knows? If they make Jazzware makes UFC fighters, maybe they'll tackle into old school boxers. I don't remember Butterbean too much. I know, I recognize the name. I don't remember like what he did. I didn't follow boxing very much outside of Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali, but I wasn't really like a big boxing fan. Fun fact: before I tried to get into pro wrestling, when I was little, there was a boxing training camp When I was in second grade, I tried to get into. It was for young kids, and because I had a bullying anger issue at the time, I got rid of that really fast. My mentor refused to sign me up for boxing. They were going to pay for it. I was going to start being disciplined and trained to be a boxer at a young age. And because I was a bully, because I was picked on and I was a poor kid and I fought back and I beat up other kids for a while, they decided against that. So I didn't become a boxer because I didn't have the discipline nor the mental capacity at the time. Now we've got the WWF Women's Champion, former one of the WWF Women's Champions, the Cat. Now, she was around. She did break some ground. She did some very risque things for the company back in the Attitude Era. She was Jerry the King Lawler's wife at one point. I don't see her getting a figure. She left in very bad terms with them. I mean, maybe figure toy collectibles will make one of her or something like that. I just don't see her getting one. I don't see people really desiring a cat figure. Joey Abs. Now this is unfortunate. I actually kind of want the Mean Street Posse. I think if Mattel could get the rights to them, a 3-pack of them in basic or elite form, not ultimate. Oh God, please not ultimate. But in elite form, or even just in figure toy collecting, whatever it is, I think that'd be kind of cool to have. I mean, they're all former WWF hardcore champions. We don't have enough hardcore representation, and we're missing Stevie Richards. We're missing so many people on the Mattel line that were hardcore champions. Mike Awesome. But I think it'd be kind of cool to have Joey Abs. Uh, Same with Rodney. These are guys who, they may not have had the greatest win record, but they were great for Shane's cronies and whatnot. They helped Shane retain the title here and there. And if you really wanted to have like the nation, state, or not the nation, if you really wanted the corporation, you needed the cronies. You need those three. So I mean, you got Shane, you got the Briscoes, you got Vince. You need the cronies. So Pete Gas also on the list. Do I see them getting made? No, but would it be cool to have them? Yeah, I think it would. Now this one, people are going to say, well, why are why do you think this guy of all people gets deserves a figure? I liked the gimmick. I mean, I'm not saying I don't dog trash man when I thought it'd be cool. It's like, okay, you got the Goon, you got some some new gen guys. Why not Duke the Jumper Drosy? I mean, he was a big guy. He did one of the first early feuds I remember was besides Henry O. Godwin with Triple H or Hunter Hearst Helmsley was Duke the Dumpster Drosy. I remember watching a match in your house, watching these two fight, and so it'd be kind of cool to have that. I'm always somebody who likes to have, I'm not saying wrestle crap like the bottom of the barrel like Shockmaster. I understand the joke there, or Isaac Yankum, but it's like if you're gonna make it's cool to make, old gimmicks of guys who went on to become more successful. But what about just making guys who, just to fill out the roster? I mean, how are you going to recreate Royal Rumble 95 when you don't even have half the people in it, probably? Now, Gooker, I'm going to say I think I see him getting made. I really do. I think somewhere down the road, I mean, he may not be 100% accurate as this costume depiction here, but he is now a former 24/7 champion. I forgot to put down the stats, and I apologize for that. But I can see him being made. He's very Toyotic. People want him. I know when they teased him a few times at Comic Cons in the past, people lost their mind and got upset about that and CM Punk figure and a couple other things. Diesel, I think it was too. Kimchi, I don't know who Kimchi was in the mask. I didn't really dive into it. I know he was like Kamala's handler. I remember there was a Kimchi on a video game, but it looked nothing like this. Essentially, it's just a guy in a mask. I mean, I guess if you could, get the rights to it or whatever it is, or it might be, I don't think it's Harvey Whippleman. I don't know who's on the mask, but I just don't see it being desired. Jazz, I think, is desired. I just don't see it happening. I think people do want a Jazz figure. If you're a women's collecting wrestling, fan, Jazz was not, your typical crappy diva. She could wrestle. She was mean. I remember watching her and Rodney Mack, and I was surprised Mack never got amounted to anything. I mean, he had a really cool looking move. I know he was in SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. Quite a few times in story mode, I'd pick Sean O'Hare or Ultimo Dragon. I picked the guys who were lesser and build them up to main event status, because I always felt bad for that, because it's like, okay, yeah, The Rock, okay, cool, he's won the belt so many times. I remember when I played SmackDown 2, I picked Matt Hardy and went 3 years undefeated until I lost a random match to Kane and lost the belt along the way. But taking back to the figures, I think Jazz needs a figure. I do. I mean, um, hopefully somebody out there decides that she needs a figure. She was at 2 WrestleManias as the champion going in, and so we got Gail Kim. We didn't even get Gail Kim in WWE, but we got Gail Kim in TNA. We didn't get Awesome Kong. We didn't get, there's a couple of females out there that I think would be kind of cool. Maybe Jazz Wears could do it. Who knows? And then finally, Miss Jackie. She was a Tough Enough 2 winner. That's really all I remember about her. Um, Not really a strong wrestler. Like I said, she was married to Charlie Haas. I don't see her leaving the Void. I, I, I think there's a theme with this group. They're just, the ones that are in here really aren't going to be leaving. Like I said, I see only Gobbledygooker getting out. I mean, that's the only one I see possibly getting out of this. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe someone will make Jazz. Maybe someone will make Duke the Dumpster Drozy. I don't see any of the Los Barriquas guys getting out. I don't see Philip LaFron or Doug Farnes. As much as I like to see the Mean Street Posse, I don't see it happening. Miss Jackie, Cat, I don't see either one of them. Butterbean, maybe, like I said, some company makes him as a boxer. But life is unpredictable. Who knows? Maybe somebody, they decide, hey, we really want to put the Mean Street Posse in a 3-pack. Maybe they're going to scrape the bottom of the barrel with all the cuts and go, what do we have left to make that we can use? But I don't see that being the case right now. Maybe one day, for now, if you want to see any of these people, it's like you're going to have to get a hold of Rough Figures or some customizer out there. And like I said, Rough Figures doesn't care who it is. They do great work. If I find out any more other customizers, I'll tell you about them too. As always, thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Remember, ring the bell, subscribe. Again, I'm not going to start a Patreon and any of that kind of stuff. If you want to check out more of my videos, I have the first 10. I have now the 20 WrestleMania. I have the whole redone series, which again, after WrestleMania 9, they were no longer redone because I started from scratch at 10. And of course, the next void's going to be from WrestleMania 21 to WrestleMania 30. So don't be shy. Leave some comments or suggestions. Let me know what you think is boring, when to be fixed. If this is too niche, if you're, even if you want to say I'm wasting my time, that's fine. You can think that. You can say that too. I did something original. I looked around, I scoured. Nobody else was doing it. I decided to do it. It's fun to me. I like to have 1,000 subscribers. I like to, have a bunch of subscribers or something like that. Oh, sure, I'd love to, but is this my only job? I have other jobs. This is just for fun. With that being said, I'll see you at WrestleMania 21 edition, and then we'll see the Void again after we get to WrestleMania 30.